All right, well, hey, it's a good start. Probably one of the better first scrimmages, honestly, that I've been around. A lot of good stuff on both sides, especially kind of how we started offensively. I thought came out really good, and then I thought a couple of drives in, defense kind of settled in. We had, worked all the field zones, 30, 50, 25, inside the 10, goal line, kind of got a little work on everything. And then we got a little bit more on some short yardage, situational type stuff. So tried to expose them as much as we could, tried to get everybody work. And it's going to be a fun tape to watch. Again, there were some really good things on both sides, but there were some bad things on both sides. We had some mental mistakes. We had kind of a celebration on a pick six that can't happen. They didn't call but could have called. It was a great play by Woodaz. We had a kind of a blindside block on the defensive guy that all of a sudden now you got them stopped. Now they get an automatic first down, then they go on to score. Those third down penalties oftentimes will lead to really negative consequences like that. But there was, again, I thought Hoosier had a good day, had a 56-yard field goal. He missed a couple too, but he had a bunch of kicks today. It's been good work for him. We got all the special teams worked. I can't say enough about the job Coach Bisaccia is doing. I mean, it's been a ton of work and a lot of competitive work. So we got a lot of good stuff on tape there. We mixed in a bunch of noise to try to create, kind of what it's like at home for our defense and what it's like on the road for the offense. So did have some miscues there that we did some good stuff, but had a couple of operational things that could cost us, especially down in the red zone, a couple penalties. But, hey, a lot of guys showed up, a lot of guys flashed, a lot of guys made some plays on both sides. We play in 3 weeks. So in 3 weeks, we're going to get our first result, good or bad. We're going to get a result, and then we go from there. We got a lot of work to do between this scrimmage and that day to give ourselves the best chance to go in there and compete and play the way I know we're going to have to play to have a chance to win the ball game. So like how the guys, I think these past 2 days has probably been the toughest 2 days we've had around here in a long time. The heat's a part of that, and tough practice yesterday, right back here today with our first scrimmage. So I'm excited to watch it. So they'll rest and recover. We'll have team meeting tonight. We'll staff meetings, and then we'll break sometime tonight after we get through the tape, and then tomorrow they'll have a day off their legs. We got pictures and meetings tomorrow, and then we got 2 more days of true camp. We got a double day on Monday, and then kind of one last camp day on Tuesday, and then we're in the school, and then that kind of changes our routine, because it's all based on when you start school. But the guys are doing what they need to do as far as buying into what we're asking them to do. We just got to stay the course, keep going, and try to get better from this. Monday we'll be back out here with a lot of situational stuff that we really need to expose them to, things that can come up. And then Thursday will be our last, live day as far as a full practice. We'll probably have another live period or two in that next week, but next Thursday will be kind of the last just true live day. Then we got to start, getting their bodies ready to go play.
How are you health-wise heading into the end of camp?
Yeah, y'all probably, I'm sure y'all heard about Polo, but he tore his ACL yesterday, so just hate that for him. It's part of it. We've had, and Roberto tore his ACL as well, doing a punt drill, and Polo just kind of came down on a competitive play and got tangled up there. But the positive for him is he knows he can do it. From where he was in January, coming in. I mean, he was really going to help us this year for sure. He was positioned to be a big time contributor for us. So I hate that for him. But the positive again is he knows he can do it. He's in a great place mentally. He's got to. Just like Courtney Kelly, in the spring, Courtney Kelly will be back sometime this season. He's been crushing it with his rehab, and it was a clean tear, so that's a good thing. So he'll have surgery, and he's got 5 years left. He's got 5 years of college. He's going to be a great one, and I think in his mind now he knows he can be a great one. So, we just get the surgery and attack the rehab. And those are the two main injuries. And we've got a couple other guys banged up that we held out today. But as far as just long-term guys, it's those two guys.
How do you think your quarterbacks today, CV and Tate specifically?
I thought they all did a really nice job. Again, there was nothing that disappointed me as far as just, their ability to run the offense, their ability to make plays. I mean, we had a couple of miscues. We had, a turnover with the timing of the snap and the motion. I think we had one pick. It was a great play by the defender. But they did some good things, man. They all made big plays. They all threw touchdowns. They all did a nice job. I'm not sure if Brock had a touchdown, but he had a couple big plays. And CV and Tate made some nice plays with their legs, so it was good. Trent had a great touchdown pass to Cam Blivens. Nice, put the ball up on a slant go. And Cam went up and got it. Really glad that kid's here. He's going to be a guy that can help us at some point. Really athletic. It's a 2,000+ point scorer in the state of Tennessee in basketball. We're really lucky we got that kid. He's athletic. He can run. He's got some wiggle to him. So he's kind of showed up a little bit. He made a huge play. So he takes advantage of his opportunities. Gordo, I thought really had a good day today. It's good to see him continuing to progress. All those young guys have done some good things in camp, but just fun to see them play. I thought, to me, our tight ends and our running backs and our quarterbacks, to me, were the bright spots to me. And as a result of that, you got to give credit to the OL. I thought our OL, that first group, did a lot of good things. There wasn't a lot of just guys, leaking through on that first group. So, and then flip side, man, I thought defensively, there were some guys that I was hoping would catch my eye today, and they did. Marcus Strong really showed up. It was good to see that. London Merritt, he's a guy that's going to help us. There's been some of these guys that have continued to flash, all camp. Mayo. I mentioned Drew had a nice play. We're developing the depth at running back and developing the depth at linebacker, kind of two, positions on our team that I think are kind of devalued. Those guys are creating some good value by what they're doing in practice. So just got to keep going, man. We're a long way away from winning a football game, but we've got some good ingredients.
You talked about CV and Tate running the ball. Are they different styles of runners? Like maybe more?
Well, they're similar in that they're both big and they're both strong guys. The difference is Tate's just probably a little faster, but they're both very capable. Tate can run. Like he can go score. CV can go get you a big chain mover. He's way more athletic than you think. I'd put him kind of Taj Boyd-ish when it comes to, probably what they're going to run on the clock. And but Taj's a pretty good runner around here. He had a lot of tough first downs for us. And CV's got those characteristics. He's a tough kid, and again, he's a big old dude. But he's pretty athletic and runs well enough. He's going to run way better than people would want him to that play him. We always wish we were better. And on this side, I wish I had, Michael Vick. I'd love to have Lamar, but he's not that, but he's effective. And then Tate is, that's just one of his gifts. He's big and fast. He can go score. So they're different in that regard, but they're similar in that they're both big, strong, effective runners.
How does the scrimmage change, if at all, your quarterback competition timeline? Is that this scrimmage and that
That
scrimmage
changes.
part of it? Or?
We just part of the process.
Yeah.
Yep, just next step in the process. Again, those guys, they're all competing. Brock did a great job. Trent did a great job. It's a good room. So they didn't do anything to disappoint today. Very competitive.
The freshman OL, just what was your assessment of that group specifically?
They're coming, long way to go. I think Matt's done a great job of identifying the guys that have the right attributes and have the right makeup, the right DNA. And you know, you get that part right, and we'll get the rest of it. So they're coming. We just got to keep stay the course with them.
You talked about wanting to see Burberry in the A gap. How do you think he held up today?
He did good. I want to see the tape, but you notice him. You notice him, and he's a load in there. He is a load. But we'll see the tape. He's done some good things, but today was the first day live. And then we were mostly good on good all day. We mixed it up a little bit, but I really wanted to kind of expose them to the best we got. And again, you don't get a lot of opportunities, and then kind of mixed it up a series or two, but mostly good on good. Next Thursday, we'll probably do mostly ones on twos and a little bit of good on good. So it'll be a little different emphasis when it comes to that matchup. But all those guys flashed. I mean, again, there's nobody that I could tell you right now was really disappointing. But you might want to check with me after I watch the tape.
Back in the spring, you were talking about the DBs just dominated those outside matchups. Has it been a different story
Oh yeah.
so far?
Oh yeah. Except Ashton. I have to make sure I give my props to Ashton, because if I don't, he'll be texting me tonight. Because he's keeping a tally. I promise you, he's keeping a tally. I had him on a pitch count today. I'm really proud of him. He's TJ wasn't able to go today. He's been he's hopefully be back. He did a little bit pre-practice, but he should be back here soon. But there's been some battles out there with Ashton and Wesco and those guys. I mean, but yeah, Ashton is. I mean, like I said, he talks a lot, but he walks it too. You know? So outside of Ashton, it's been a really competitive deal.
Coach, what do you tell a guy like Polo when that happens to a young guy? They get derailed before they get started.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I got 100 examples, you know, of the exact same thing that's happened many, many times. Deshaun Watson tore his ACL as a freshman, you know, same thing though. He knew he had the confidence he could do it because he did get to play. Adam Randall tore his knee, you know, spring game. Courtney Kelly, who just happened, and he sees Courtney, how good Courtney's doing, how great he looks right now. He just did it this spring. Amari Rogers, I think Amari tore his knee in the spring game, and I think he played in the opening game. I don't remember who he played, but he played against him, I believe. So there's just so many examples of guys that have been through the same thing. You know, I think initially it's like, you know, it's just this, but hey, you're going to be okay. In fact, and Corian Gibson, like, he's the fast kid on the team. I mean, him and CJ and Wesco, but depending on what day it is, Gibbs going to win more days than not, and torn ACL. So, you know, he's got a lot of examples. So I think that's where it starts, of just you know, creating good perspective for him. Like, hey, you just got to attack the rehab, and you're going to be back. I think number one. Number two, hey, man, you got 5 years. You know, you got 5 years. This is not your last. So try to create the right perspective, you know, and I think that's important because that affects your mindset and all that type of stuff. And then we just put our arms around and love him, and then encourage him. Like, you know, again, let's look at the good. Let's look at the good first. You know, part of the good is you came in January, and you had a chance to learn the system, and not only learn it, but go through an off season like and now you go from, man, I'm not sure, to, hey, I'm a dude, I can do this. And that confidence from that, you know, so he's a very confident. So then it's, hey, just because you're hurt, just because people aren't going to see you play on game day, nothing changes. You're still going to be grinding physically. You're going to be developing mentally. Nothing changes. We're not going to waste this year. It just not going to show up on the stat book where everybody sees it. But this is going to be a huge year for your development as a player. You're not getting drafted on what you do as a freshman. Like, you got a whole career ahead of you. So just perspective, mindset, just put your arms around him and love him.
Early, is he back in practice? Or?
No, he has not practiced. He's trying to get back, but he's not back yet.
Did you get any more clarity on what his timeline would be, Vic?
Day to day, that's all I know. Day to day.
Did you say TJ is banged up?
Yeah, he's just banged up. Yeah, he should be good to go here soon.
With the O-line, do you feel like a top 5 is starting to emerge? I know you mentioned you were happy with how they to do.
Well, we're still working on it. We're moving some guys around. I mean, we're moving guys to tackle. We're trying to create, depth at center. We're trying to, we let Braden at guard some today, just creating different combinations. So Matt's done a great job of all that. I'd say that, is more top 5 right now. It's more like kind of top 8 or 9 that we are really kind of competing with, and so that we can really narrow it down. Okay, here's the best 5. Because there's a couple of decisions. If it's this guy, then here's how we need to manage the OL. If it's this guy, then we need to manage it this way. So we're not there yet, but those guys are competing their butt off, and Matt's doing a good job.
I know you got to watch the film, but how's the physicality in practice or scrimmage going?
It's been good. They've been like I said, these last 2 days we've asked a ton of these guys, and they've given it.
Speaking of physicality, I think it was this time last year you told me Kuba Taylor was the hardest hitter on the team. How is he coming along?
Yeah, he's just getting back into practice, so he was limited. He's been in green, but I think they had him on he might have got 15 plays today. I think they had him on a pitch count. This was a big day for him because he's been kind of working back in practice, some team separate stuff. But I think this was the first day that they were going to let him get some live reps. But they had him on a pitch count, so he really hasn't. He's been awesome. He's smart. He looks the part. He's had a great summer. But I think it was the first day or so he kind of tweaked something. So he's been working his way back. But it was good to see him back out there today.
Matt Lewis said at media days that for the O-line, he'd like to have that best 5 known by the second scrimmage. Do you feel like that timeline, they're still on track for that?
Yeah, we'll see when we watch the tape. We'll see. It's competitive. It's very competitive. But we'll know more probably by tomorrow once we really kind of, because again, you get 2. You don't get a lot of these days, and then you got to kind of, and that's what you truly have to base it on. You can't just base it on going out there and playing tag. You got to, like live twists and pickups and communication and all that type of stuff. You got to make a decision. The good news is they're making it hard. That's the great thing. It's not that we're like, well, it's the best of the bad. Like we got some really prideful, competitive kids, and again, I think Matt has recruited that. He's instilled that. They're tough as hell. They're physical. They want to play, and we've got a little versatility in there. So they're going to make it hard. But so that it is what it is. But the positive of that is I do think we'll have some pretty good depth there when it's all said and done.
You mentioned the running backs as a bright spot today. What specifically did you like about that group?
Man, well, Gid broke one for like 60, and on a 3rd and long on a counter, broke a couple tackles, but it got called back. It was the first down, but it got called back because we had a holding on Wesco downfield. So it was great to see him make a big play. Man, Easy had some flashes. Man, Jarvis Green was awesome. He's just, every time Jarvis plays, he's just a natural player. He doesn't overwhelm you when you look at him, but the dude knows how to play, knows how to play the game. Then he's productive. So I thought he was a real bright spot. We had Gid on a pitch count. We had CJ on a pitch count. CJ's different. He's kind of in his own, he's in his own box over here. He's kind of, he'll do some of the same things, but he's different as well. And then Jay wasn't able to go. Jay was the other guy. I'd say Jay and Jarvis are similar in that when they're out there, they're productive. And Jay wasn't able to go today. He was having a great camp, and he got banged up the other day. So hopefully we'll get him back, for the next one. So as I said, going into camp, I feel like our running back room is going to be a strength. And that's just, my perspective. I know it's a bunch of nobodies that nobody knows anything about, but I like our guys, and they're tough, and they've been productive in practice, and it's been a real commitment to run the football, and it's been good to see.
Did Elijah show up in good shape?
Which Elijah?
I'm sorry, Thurman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Elijah's in amazing shape. Probably the best he's been. He's strong. He gives us he can play 5 positions. Elijah Thurman is one of the smartest kids we got on this team. He's gonna play this game a long time. You know, he's very talented, but again, you don't find many football players that can play 5 positions in the OL, and he can do it. He has had a great camp, and he's another guy today. We got him some live reps at center with the noise. We got Harris a good amount of work. Harris has been awesome. I mean, Harris he's a freaking rock in there. But we got Elijah some good work in there. We got Chance. We got Grant Wise. We got all those guys some really good competitive center work. You know, so obviously those guys can play guard too. But I like the depth we're creating there. But Elijah gives us a lot of versatility. I mean, he and Sadler. I mean, it's just those 2 guys. They are valuable, very valuable players.
Are you seeing the offense in an up-tempo, like old classic Chad Morris, up-tempo type style of play?
I mean, it's a combination. I mean, it's a combination of you know, what's happening in the game. You know, there's certain times where you feel like you got them on their heels and you're going to really use the tempo to your advantage. And there's other times where, hey, you want to slow it down and change the cadence up. You know, change the tempo. You might look like you're going fast, but you're going slow. You might look like you're going slow, but you're going to go fast. So and then sometimes you look like you're going fast and you're going fast. So it's just kind of it's a rhythm to it, you know, as far as how you call it and having the instincts of when you go fast, when you try to go fast but slow it down, or when you play at a normal tempo. So he's got a great feel for that. He's done a great job. The whole staff.
You called August camp last year Club Med. Do you like this heat for the
Yes.
condition?
Yes. I mean, it was. I mean, hell, we didn't have a hot day. I don't even remember breaking a sweat. It was crazy. It was the craziest camp ever. But it's been freaking hot. It's been hot. You know, so it's been good. But we need it. I mean, we need it. They trained in it all summer. We need it.
How important
fatigue will coward you, right?
How important is that for LSU? I mean, the heat, the noise, banging that into the stadium, just in terms of preparation for, well,
hello.
for that. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, it's an advantage when you can prepare your team, or I would say it's a disadvantage when you can't prepare your team for the elements they're going to face. You know, so it is what it is. You know, we do wet ball drills and things like that to try to prepare for rain, but you can't just do a heat drill, right? I mean, that's kind of Mother Nature, and so good Lord's kind of looked out for us on that. I guess it was Thursday. I was after him out there Thursday, and it was hot. I don't know what period, like period 14 or something. And I was like, ain't nobody coming to save you. Ain't nobody going, you know, like next thing you know, like next period, this freaking alarm goes off. So I made God mad. And I said, all right, God's the only one that can save you. So I didn't make that mistake yesterday. I said, the only person that can save y'all today is God. So I talked to him this morning. He ain't coming anytime during this practice. So you know, it's just to be able to have the type of heat. I mean, I've been to Baton Rouge 7 times. It's hot. I mean, it'll be hot down there at night. It's early September. It'd be hot here. We're playing here. It'd be freaking hot. So they've pushed it. You can't simulate that. And then the crowd noise. I mean, it is what it is. You got to be able to operate. I mean, our defense has to function that way at home all the time. They've got to be able to communicate. So it was a little bit, you know, obviously. It'll be quiet for them. It's not loud when they're on the road defensively. So it's good work on both sides. We need as much of that as we can get.
What gives you inner peace? You know this team better than anybody. What gives you inner peace that you can go into Baton Rouge and win that game?
I'm not worried about any of that. I'm not worried. I just have peace in, you know, my staff. I have peace in, you know, how these guys have worked. I have peace in who they are as people. Man, I got a great group of dudes, and they've done the work. I'm not worried about getting the result. You know, I'm worried about doing the work that will lead to the result. That's really all I'm worried about. And you know, these guys, they show up and they compete like they're capable of competing. You know, I think they can play with anybody. You know, I mean, we'll have to. I mean, let's don't kid ourselves. We'll have to play not perfect, but not far from it. You know, this is going to be a great team that we got to go open up with. That ain't going to be easy, but hey, I love it. I love the challenge, and let's see where we are. We'll go play and see what happens after that, and get back to work.
I have to get Ross to confirm the stat, but I think you're 4-1, I believe, as a player coach down in Baton Rouge. And did you know that? And also, what are your memories of both?
I think I've been there 7 times. I may be wrong. From '88 to, I think, I'm not sure. Maybe we're. Yeah, I think we lost there in 2000. I think we lost there. Should have lost there in '98. That was one of the craziest games I've ever been a part of in my life. I think I'll never forget that. In fact, I think all the Bama fans had left. I mean, it was bad because it was like we didn't lose. You know, I think it was this long-standing thing. Like I think we went from like 1969 to maybe 2000 before. You know, it was the whole "Tide don't lose" and "Bat don't lose." That was the whole like slogan. You know, that I kind of grew up with, and I mean, it was just like this thing. It just went forever. You know, and every time, you know, had some tough games, but we just kept finding a way to win down there. But we go in. I'm coaching the Whiteouts in '98, and I think we're up 13 with like minute 50 or so, maybe 2 minutes. It wasn't much time, and I mean they got us, and I mean they're on us, and I mean it ain't good. I think Bama people they're pissed. They're gone. You know we run a little throwback, slip Sean Alexander out the back. And Zhao, my man Andrew Zhao hits Sean. Sean's kind of sliding, comes down with it in the end zone for a touchdown, minute something or whatever on the clock. So we got to onside it. We got to onside kick it. And my receiver, Jason McCadley, one of my favorite players all time, big J-Mac, shout out to J-Mac, lives out in Arizona. J-Mac comes up with the onside kick. We're like, no way. So we get the onside kick, and then we run a little sprint rub wheel, and my receiver, Quincy Jackson, number 7, Action Jackson. Never forget it. It was like slow motion. Quincy's going down the sideline, Zal's kind of rolling back, and he lets it go, and their DB and the ball hits off the DB's hands and falls into Quincy's arm for a touchdown, and we win the game. It was crazy. It was crazy. So that was '98. That's probably one of the craziest games I've ever been a part of because, I mean, you just don't win games like that. And, so remember that like it was yesterday. But I got so much respect for that place, first of all. I mean, it's one of the great places in college football. I mean, to play a football game. They're on you from the time you land at the airport. I mean, it is, and then a night game on top of it. There's a little juice in that lemonade. They're waiting on you. So it's awesome. It's one of the great places to play a game. Lane's done an unbelievable job. I mean, they got dudes for dudes. They're all over the place. So be a fun way to kick it off.
Talk about Denson at all today?
Yeah, Denson, this was his first live work. So, he had tweaked his hamstring in the right before we started. So they've been smart with him. He's been kind of working back, and they've just kind of progressed him into some indies, some RVA, some team separate stuff. But today was his first day to get some live work, and I've been impressed with him. I mean, he needs some more. I gotta see more. Just because he hasn't had as much competitive work, but I've seen enough to be encouraged. I mean, he's a big kid. You don't realize how big and powerful he is, and that kind of has flashed a couple times. But the other thing for me was, I've never seen him catch a ball. So like, is he a guy that's got natural ball skills, or is he a guy that kind of got to develop? But he's got natural ball skills, so it's a good starting point. And I think he's in a good spot, and now I need more time to really get a true evaluation of him where he's full flow. But if we can just keep him back rolling in the direction he's in, I think he's certainly a guy that can get in the mix.
That was
Do you
actually one
plan
of
to
my.
enable starting quarterback before the game?
I mean, I hope so, but I'm not really worried about
Could you
it.
go all the way to game time?
Sure we could. We sure could. Be like Dan Brooks. Might wait till the Tiger Walk. See who walks through the Tiger Walk best. That was back when Dan Brooks had Grady and Carlos and DJ Reader and Pagano and Josh Watson and all them guys. The only guy you knew was going to start was Grady. And all them other guys knew it too. So there was like 4 guys for one spot. And Dan I never knew who was starting till they ran out there. Dan would be like, I'm gonna watch them in the warm-ups. I'm gonna watch them all the way in the warm-ups. Tiger Walk, everything's gonna count. He'd watch them all the way, and then he'd say, you go. I mean, they all were playing, but he just had so much pride in who was running out there first. So, yeah, I mean, they're competing their butts off.
You said Hoosier kicked a lot today. Have you seen
He did.
Out of your punters and field goal kickers.
Yeah, Jack's been really good. He's very consistent. I tell you, Hoosier and Gunn are kind of battling for that backup punter spot too. They both are doing a good job in that role. In fact, Hoosier got one punt today and launched it, and he didn't even know he was going to punt. I didn't want him to know. I wanted to just see if he could respond, and he came right out there like wasn't nothing to it. Yeah, so he's. That we needed a little bit of depth there, so I feel a little better about that with Hoosier and Gunn, and we got Charlie Reed. Snappers we've really challenged them. We got a lot of crowd noise work with them today too. That's an area that those guys got to come through for us. But I thought Hoosier had a good day.
When I saw Denson on the first day of camp, I actually was surprised how thick his legs looked.
Yeah.
Like, do you think he actually put more work in the weight room in the off season with the idea that
Well, he ain't training like a quarterback. Quarterbacks train differently than every other position. I mean, back when I was playing, we all trained the same. Didn't matter. You were OL or whatever. But now it's it's high tech. Everybody's got position specific training, and so he's been training as a quarterback. So yeah, he's growing the butt now. He's over there doing a lot of power cleans and squats, like the wideouts and DBs and linebackers and all those running backs and tight ends do. So his body, he looks great. Looks great.
Any returners stand out to you on special teams today?
No, I mean we did all live cover, but we thudded it up as far as just thud tackle. I didn't want to have live tackling on the kickoff today. I really was more interested in the protection, the coverage, the execution of what we needed to do. But all those guys, we've got 5 or 6 guys that Rich is working back there, and we're confident in the guys we got.
Coach K. Klubnik with the preseason start last night. Did you get to watch any of that performance?
I did not. He was out by the time we got in. We were here last night, so by the time I got to the office, he was out. But I text with him. I text back and forth with him last night, and just proud of him. I mean, he's like I said, he's going to be a great pro. He's going to play a long time. He's a really, really talented quarterback, and that's why he got drafted. And they've obviously seen that too right out of the gate. So he's just hopefully stays healthy. If he does, he's going to be one of those guys you look up, and he's played quite a while.
On defense, how have the transfers, especially in the secondary, progressed throughout the offseason?
Really good. Maturity, very mature group, very experienced. They've got a lot of confidence, and there's a lot of, good chemistry, I would say, with the back end guys. I didn't see hardly any bust today. Now, there was a couple competitive plays that we didn't win, but, I can live with that. That's football. You're going to have some of those, especially when it's Wesco coming down with one, or some guy makes some great catch. But it's when you have uncontested plays, because we're not communicating properly or somebody's not doing their job. There wasn't very much of that. These guys have really bought into what we're asking them to do, and I'm pleased with them. Jerome Carter and Myrick, those are 2 studs. Ronan Hannafin, man, he had a heck of a day today. Ronan has shown up every single day. I mean, he's just one of them guys. He's kind of like Will Help, man. You're just going to get every ounce of everything he's got every day. That's Ronan. So it's a good group, and I like the depth that we've been able to establish. Obviously, we've talked a lot about Ashton. Man, that kid is showing up every day. Literally, y'all think I'm joking, but he's showing up at practice every day like it's the Super Bowl. That's his mentality. That's his energy, and he never stops. And that's just kind of who he is. So, but Elliott, I tell you, Donovan Starr has made a big jump for us. Strozier has been really good. I mean, so we got more depth there. So I think we just got to stay healthy. You know, we get lucky and we can stay healthy. I think when it's all said and done, you know, we're going to be a much better group. What does that look like? It ain't going to be 120th, I'll tell you that. All right, you know, where does it go? I don't know, but we're going to be a heck of a lot better.
Berberja and McLeod both talked about that chemistry yesterday. How impactful do you think that's going to be in Death Valley come the first game?
Berberia?
Sorry, yeah.
Say it again there.
Berberia.
What was the question?
How impactful do you think that their team chemistry is going to be in that first game?
Oh, just for the whole unit over there? I mean,
yeah.
defensively, it's critical.
Okay.
I mean, it's critical. There was just way too many times last year we didn't have 11 guys on the same page, and it was obvious, and it was really frustrating. Whether it was who had run support, you know, from an outside, you know, contained standpoint or coverage, whatever, and man, it led to some big plays. You know, and that's the difference between offense and defense. You know, you can have 9 guys screw up on offense, but you can still punt. You know, defensively, you got 9 guys, you know, out of 11 on it's a touchdown, and so that's just a different deal. But they're doing a good job over there, man. The coaches are doing a good job. They're pushing them. We're certainly better on the back end, and I think the competition that we have up front, the development at linebacker. You know, we just got to keep going, just keep doing the work. You know, we're a long way away from playing, but you know, we're getting ready for a season ahead, and you know, again, we catch a break with health, with just few guys that we really don't have another one of them type guys. I think it'd be a good group.
Was it Strong and Adams were the ones that made a tackle?
I don't remember who ran out there. They've been rotating those guys. I don't remember who ran out first. Marcus, but when Marcus got in there, he flashed. I don't remember if he ran out there first or not. Maurice had a very solid camp as well. He's a high level talent that's just continuing to develop. But it's a lot of competition in that group. It's a lot of competition.
How'd the tackling look today as a whole on the defense side?
I would say we probably had 4 or 5 missed tackles that were glaring, but you know, overall pretty good for a first scrimmage. You know, pretty good. Not good enough, but you know, for first true live time, we outside of probably 8 plays of live the other day. You know, it's a different game. It's a different game. So. We had some, I'd say, with our pride group that we kind of got exposed a little bit, but for the most part, not terrible.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.